Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And there's been a lot of Doctor Who news going on. Articles, I was saying, more than news dried up about a couple of weeks ago. Now it's all like speculation. But there's been a lot of Doctor Who articles going around. The Radio Times has been focusing a lot on Tom Baker and Philip Hinchcliffe because they're making a bit of a big deal out of it. Philip Hinchcliffe has and Tom Baker has a new CD out from Big Finish, or like triple CD set. Basically, yeah, the top was it the Philip Hinchcliffe Presents, which is what he sort of would have done if he carried on producing Doctor Who after Talons of Weng Chiang. And they're okay. I mean, Mark Platt steps in for Robert Holmes. And yeah, I like Mark Platt. I think he's a decent writer. I don't think he's Robert Holmes, though, and so it's okay. It's okay. But they're making a really, really big deal of it. But we're getting lots of interviews with Philip Hinchcliffe and Tom Baker, which I like a lot. So I saw this interview and I thought, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Tom Baker talking about him being Doctor Who, his methodology being Doctor Who, and you can just see it's like the 180-degree opposite from Jodie Whittaker. I want to be clear, if you like Jodie Whittaker, God bless you. Happy that you like her. I really am. I mean, if you like her as Doctor Who as well, happy that you like her. I can't stand her. I think she's playing the role terribly. I think it's written terribly. I think everything about the current era is awful. I mean, not everything. Sidemen design, freaking awesome. Love them. There was something else. What was one other thing that I really liked? I can't remember. The Dalek interior of their spaceship from Revolution of the Dalek. I mean, that was like a lot of the design stuff isn't bad, but the TARDIS. Freaking awesome. Not awesome, awful. Oh, absolutely awful. But anyway, so we're going to read this article, and it's very, look, for me anyway, it was very hard not to pull out the obvious inferences. Before we get to it, can you hit the like button? That'll be Fandabby double dozy. Thank you very much. Can you hit the share button? Even Fandabby double dozier. Fandabby triple dozy? I guess doesn't really work as well. Fandabby, and you can hit the subscribe button. That's great. That is awesome. My subscribers just went up a lot this morning. It was really weird. Yesterday they went down a lot, and now they went up a lot. I don't know. It's just like whatever YouTube's doing. I don't understand. Okay, I sit in my basement screaming about Doctor Who. I don't know about algorithms. All right, you know. I feel like what's his name? The first Terminator movie, Reese. Michael Biehn, right? He's being interviewed by the police, and they're talking about, well, how do you do this? I don't know tech stuff, right? That's how I feel. Okay, I don't know tech stuff. Yeah, like, share, subscribe is the basic message that I'm trying to give you. Subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed and comment. Let me know what you think. That's always important. Check out my Indiegogo. I'm actually on schedule. To get this to print by Tuesday. I'm going to aim for Monday. But I want to get it print by Tuesday inside August, which is where I've been really freaking aiming for, right? The print file one book is done. Print file the second one has to be compiled. So the two books, this one's ready to be compiled now. I rewrote and relettered 2 pages towards the end. I'm so glad I did it. Oh my God, what a difference. Firstly, what a difference writing something with 5 years more experience, right? So it's so much better, right? And it's always kind of bothered me. I didn't realize how much better it would be if I just bit the bullet and made the change. So I'm really excited. This is 220 pages long, very, very biblically accurate. Not preachy in any way. No, I don't think it's preachy in any way. Go check it out. It's kind of like one of those early Vertigo books. And there's this book, The Imperium, a love letter to Telefantasy in the 1960s. So we just added a bunch of pages into this. We added 5 more pages into the main story. New art by Dominic Rancho. Freaking awesome. Got this Thunderbirds flying over London, over Swinging Sixes London, which is one of the things that slowed us down. He had him flying over contemporary London. I was like, dude, it's set in the 60s. Like, oh, I didn't realize. Dude, it says 60s. Well, he doesn't speak English, I think. I don't know his English really. He's from the Philippines. Awesome artist, Dominic Raggio. Absolutely love him. Love working with him. I'm planning on launching a Substack as soon as this goes out, which is a free subscription service where you get great comics in your mailbox a few times a week. But if it works out well, I'm going to do a pay version, and the first thing I will do with a pay version, more volumes of this with Dominic. Freaking love his work. So yeah, if you get both books, this is a love letter to telefans in the 1960s. James Bond, Doctor Who, Emmett Till, Monkey in a Spacesuit, Black Slaves 2001, Prisoner, Thunderbirds, Khaled. It's all in there. It's all in there, baby. So you get both books. You get a bunch of extras. You can get the extras on their own, but I'd rather you get them with the books. But the extras, I think, will only be available during this for this campaign. So if you want them, you got like 2 or 3 days left, right? And honestly, I got like, if I can get $40 more, I get over over $9,000. That'd be freaking awesome. And also posters. We're going to be talking about Tom Baker. Look at this Tom Baker poster. Freaking! I think I'm going to throw this into the main package if you buy both books. One I'll give you one of these posters. Love them all. Collect them all. Fine. Let's look at this article. Tom Baker, I got Doctor Who right out the blue. I didn't know what to do with it. Well, that's funny because I'm watching Sylvester McCoy right now. His interview with Matthew Sweet from the season 24 Blu-ray said exactly the same thing, which I'm surprised about. I would have thought he would have sat down more with Philip Hinchcliffe and find more. He's only 87. Man, he looks older. he looks a lot older. The 87-year-old acting legend reveals why he never felt anxious about returning to the crackpot world of Doctor Who. Well, you weren't anxious, but you did refuse for about 25 years? When was your first big finish? I mean, you did the Nest Cottage stuff first. You know what? Fine. Nest Cottage is when he first returned. Let's have a Tom Baker Nest Cottage audio series. Audio series. That was Paul Maggs wrote it. They were okay. The Big Finish stuff was actually a lot better. Fine. So I should have the year there of it. A bit of Wikipedia action. 2009. Okay, so he left in what was it? 81, 82. That's 18. 27 years. Okay, like. You might not have felt anxious, but you were pretty reticent, pretty firm you didn't want to do it, and you were kind of derogatory about Big Finish for a long time, right? Let's just hear what's it. Tom Baker first played Doctor Who almost 50 years ago, and to hear the acting legend tell it, he never really stopped. Well, he was playing Doctor Who before he started as well. That's why he's... listen, you get some actors who just eschew a character. Jack Nicholson playing the Joker... more Jack Nicholson than Joker, right? It was Jack Nicholson. I got it right out the blue. He tells Radio Times and his 1974 casting as John Pertwee's Doctor Who replacement. There we were, and I thought I didn't know what to do with it, and I still don't know what to do with it. Oh, I think you do know. You come with a lot of notes and you work through your scripts methodically. A lot of your ideas are awful, right? A lot like in what was the one I was thinking of? Robots of Death, a great story where he. At the last episode, he has to try and get past a bunch of D robots. I can't remember. He's saying, "Well, maybe I should swing from the rafters and do it." And no, that was a bad idea. A lot of his ideas are bad. A lot of them are very good, right? But it's very, very fair to say he puts a lot of thought into every portrayal. So a good piece of acting you should really check out, also from Big Finish. Tom Baker plays Long John Silver in the adaptation of Treasure Island. That's really good. He's really good in that. He's good in everything, though. I don't like him at Tom Baker. Call me crazy. And I still don't know because, of course, the problem is it's not really an acting part. In fact, I don't really do acting parts because they just embarrass me. I wish I could do it. They just embarrass me. I can't do a Tom Baker, but I'd love to hear him say that. I try to inhabit these kind of crackpot people who I play and find a crackpot niche in my crackpot brain. I slot them in and off we go. That sounds like his acting talent. But you see, to that, you've got to be a little bit self-abrasive. Not abrasive. What's the word I'm looking for? Self-effacing, right? And I don't think Jodie Whittaker has the ability to be self-effacing because you can only be self-effacing if you're a very confident person. If you know you're I can take the piss out of myself, no problem, because I think I'm awesome, right? I do. I think I'm pretty darn awesome, and I know that's wrong, but you should. But I do. I think I'm pretty darn awesome. A lot of that, so I can take the piss out of myself. People who lack confidence cannot take any joke, which is, I think, the reason why the whole like the T people and the LGBTQ thing, and the LGB people are like, get the T people away from me. They're weirdos. They are. It's the weirdest thing. Simon Callow in the Times this week has just been lambasted because of that. But the reason they can have no debate about things that are obviously insane, right, is because they know there's no they're not confident about it, right? If you're confident, you can be. But it's Whittaker. Just again, I don't think she thinks the role plays a role as anything real, right? But I don't think they can handle anybody making fun of her with it because she doesn't. It's too near the mark. It's too near the mark. In 2011, 3 decades after his final story, Logopolis are there, Baker signed up to reprise his iconic role of audio produced by Big Finish. 3 years after that, he was reunited with Philip Hinchcliffe, the producer, along with script editor Robert Holmes. No, he wasn't. Who, along with script editor Robert Holmes, or blessed memory, maybe you want to put that in there in parentheses, had crafted some of the full stocks of best love stories between 74 and 77. He often found my ideas interesting, and sometimes he adopted them. Wonder what ideas? I hope they talk about that. Baker recalls of working with Hinchcliffe on the television series, and for that reason, I thought I had had marvelous taste and insight. Yeah, I guess when you got people who are at the top of the game, who are, I think, creative geniuses. So Hinchcliffe and Holmes, great combination. Oh, so good, so perfect. But like, yeah, I can understand you thinking it's you, right? You take the plaudits, plaudits, I should say. What's a plaudit? I don't know. When I fell into Doctor Who and realized Philip liked what I was doing, and so the other actors, I kept with it. I mean, that's basically what Sylvester McCoy is saying. Listen, I came in, I had no idea what to do. I can't do this like physical comedy I was able to do, which is what he leaned into, especially with Time in the Rani. But by the time he got into Paradise Towers, I mean, it's really as early as Paradise Towers, he was really playing it straight at that point, right? And it had a real interesting performance. But yeah, you start off doing whatever works, and people say, yeah, that's good. You carry on doing whatever works. I was doing, and so did other actors. I kept on with it. I was an ex-Catholic looking for meaning to life. Well, it's a long. Yeah, I can understand that's a bit of a search. I didn't know he was an ex-Catholic. I knew he was a monk at one point. And then Doctor Who came along, and suddenly losing faith in God didn't seem so serious. Not as serious as getting a good part. I guess, as it says, one door closes, one opens, right? Okay. Since 2014, Philip Hinchcliffe and Big Finish have collaborated on Philip Hinchcliffe Presents range. Yeah, it's not, again, they get a bit big it up, and it's not that good. If you want to hear much better in the same vein, go for the Lost Stories, which is like stories that never got made. So at least you get a feeling of Robert Holmes and Philip Hinchcliffe together. That was much better. It was like Folk from the Future, and you go, oh boy, I'm glad they did Deadly Assassin. They're not glad they did Towers of Weng Chiang instead. Philip Hinchcliffe, Big Finish, Philip Hinchcliffe range. Which is the man's own words, which in the man's own words takes in new stories that wouldn't have followed from my last season in the 1970s, but the kind of flavor of what we were doing in those 3 years. Yeah, he's trying to like give people what they want. The latest volume, the fourth volume of The God of Phantoms, and boy, oh, it's hard going. I'm 2 episodes in. I'm not enjoying it. It's not very good. It's a bit overlong. I'll keep up with it. I only got 4 episodes to go, but whoa, it's not the best. I mean, it's great hearing Tom Baker, right? I mean, I'm on the fence. Next year they're releasing essentially a table read of the original script of Genesis of the Daleks, Genesis of Terror, or Daleks, Genesis of Terror. And an adaptation of John McCarthy's original script for the Ark in Space called Doctor Who and the Ark. I don't know. I don't really think I want either of these, but I love hearing Tom Baker, right? I do. So I don't know. I'm really, really conflicted about those ones. You know what? The thing that annoys me, I do feel they're using my love of Doctor Who against me, right? I really, yeah. And they do put like things I happen to love on the covers, because they'll make you buy them. Like, the Peter Davison has a new set out this week, or next month, I think, or this month, no, next month, and it's got a Dalek on the cover because they want to sell copies. It's not. I'm not buying that one. I'm really not. Everything is a high concept thing now. There are very few just good stories. But if you want a good story, I would say the last good story that wasn't like bells and whistles is called Memoirs of a Tyrant. It's a 6-Doctor story. It's from about 3 years ago. I really love that story, but because it was a good, interesting story with interesting characters doing interesting things. Everybody Who Meets Louise, the latest full thought in Gods of Ant reunites Baker's Doctor once again with the companion Leela, his co-star on this series from 77-78. For a ghost story with a sci-fi twist. Yeah, it's basically where we are. They're on a colony world, but it's not really set up very well as a colony world. I mean, the world building is a bit weak. Okay, they're on a colony world which has devolved, kind of like Face of Evil, where the society has devolved and they've gone backwards in technology, and they got like this old technology from their original settlers that they don't really understand anymore. Right, but basically everyone's like, it's all like, the 16th, 17th century style technology with like 2,000-year-old computers at the same time. That's basically what it is. Which now, that actually sounds interesting. The execution is just 6 episodes is a bit heavy going, and I'm bored. Here's the truth. I'm bored. I haven't listened to the third part yet, and I'm not excited. All at the same time, go subscribe to the channel Dr. Alex, who's writing his own continuation of Capaldi Doctor. Really good. I'm amazed how good it is. Okay, and he does it as book on tape and also as novel. In a novel form. As I said, really, really, really good, and I would much rather be listening to that right now. Everybody Who Meets Louise loves her because she compels affection. I tell you, the thing that makes Louise Jameson so unbelievably sexy, right? It's really interesting when you think about it. It's the same thing with the character of Joan from Mad Men, who was unbelievably sexy. There is a large streak of maternal love coming out of like maternalism coming out these characters in a very genuine way, right? And it's just that. When you get into psychology of what's appealing, what's sexy, that really is, right? So, and obviously she's stunningly beautiful. What story was I watching? Sunmakers, right? I was watching Sunmakers and I hit pause because I went to go get something, and it just paused on Louise Jameson. She looked perfect. I mean, honestly, you could take that frame and pause it and put it on a wall, like make a poster. She looked perfect, and I just tried randomly. Any way you pause, she looked perfect. I don't want to tell you. That's just what happened. Here admits Louise loves her because she compels affection. Yeah, it's true, Baker Beams. And she's very beautiful and witty. We absolutely have a wonderful relationship. That's the other thing I like about you. I think is sexy about Louise Jameson is that she's super smart. I love the way that she can dissect a script and understand the character and get into the essence of the character. The Big Finish, I think one of the few successes this year has been The War Doctor Begins. Has Jonathan Cowrie taking over from John Hurt, which is like a know-nothing, a no-name actor from a acting legend, and it really works, and it works mainly because they explained in the extras of it that Louise Jameson came and did a day of workshop with Jonathan Cowrie, and she directs the box sets and taught him how to act, and boy, he does a great job. So yeah, she's very witty, and she's very. You've got to need to be clever to be witty. We absolutely have a wonderful relationship. We are constantly in touch with the lovely little message about what we're up to. So it's a happy story. Really very, very happy. Yeah, even though the story isn't that good, it's nice hearing Louise Jameson and Tom Baker together. It always is. It always is. The storytelling structure, from the music, the sound design, these new stories adapt from Hinchcliffe initial ideas, written by writer Mark Platt, seeks to recapture the flavour and feel of Doctor Who's Hammer horror influenced TV outings from the 1970s. I don't think it does it well enough. I think again, I'm only 2 episodes in, but I don't think it. I don't think any of these things really. They're all a bit too muted, right? Robert Holmes had a really hard horror edge, which was great. Recapturing his performance wasn't a problem for Baker, chiefly because he claims playing the Doctor wasn't for him a performance at all. Yeah, it's just me, really. Tom, we know, mate. We know, okay? No, you're not surprising anybody. You know, like, you're as much Doctor Who in Sainsbury's as you are at the controls of the TARDIS. He says, it's really just me trying to be amusing. Yeah, and trying to be heroic in an amusing way and loving people loving him. I mean, I think that's a really big factor of it. But again, you need to be intelligent to be amusing, right? And you need to be heroic to be heroic. None of these thoughts have ever occurred to Jodie Whittaker. None of them. Like, you understand the character you're playing isn't a hero. There's actually a really nasty villain. An ineffectual villain. Like a sort of villain that when somebody looks for inspiration, go, I feel a bit socially awkward. I mean, that's just villainous behavior. It's beyond villain. It's more pathetic behavior. The Doctor Who character is such a benevolent old fellow and often amusing and obviously a crackpot in the sense that he doesn't know how gifted he is. So that's another problem with Whittaker's performance. She thinks she's wonderful. She plays it like she's the greatest ever, and everything. I'm the Doctor. See, something that's a universal truth with all these like progressive liberal recasting is they always make them smug, right? Being smug, being smug, and what's the word again? Not leering, gloating, right? Being smug and gloating are bad qualities, which Jodie Whittaker's Doctor absolutely does, right? I can't think of a time when other Doctors gloated. Right, I mean, you could say it in Remembrance of the Daleks when Davros is begging for his life. Have pity on me. And so I say, I have pity for you. I think he's telling us. I don't think that was gloating. There we go. Crab obviously he doesn't know how gifted he is, and he doesn't seem to have learned very much about how the magic that he commands. Because like he's saying, he's again being self-effacing. You can be self-effacing if you have complete confidence in yourself, which again, I think is why Whittaker can't be self-effacing in any way. Because of course, if he did realize that there wouldn't be there wouldn't be any stories, any interesting stories. Again, we're looking at Jodie Whittaker. He just solved them right away. But we're not Jodie Whittaker. She can't solve anything. She's a doofus. But all heroes have to have a black spot, don't they? Again. Jodie Whittaker, no. Michael Burnham, no. Ray, no. None of these things are black spots. It's a wonderful, wonderful part. There's nothing like it because it's completely crackpot. There's no reason or rhyme to it. This is kind of, well, again, there's no reason or rhyme to it if you're a smart person who's able to interpret it. Jodie Whittaker, that ain't you, darling. That is not you. Character was scatterbrained and rather charming character, fitted me rather well. Yeah, again, Jodie, you're not charming. Oh boy, you're not charming. Sacha Dhawan's charming, right? I think Sacha Dhawan is charming. Jodie Whittaker, you are not charming. I thought to myself, I'm really I'm really at home doing this. People say to me, your Doctor Who is absolutely fabulous. Nobody's saying that to Jodie Whittaker, Tom. And what's wonderful about it is you don't appear to be acting. And before I can say, I'm not acting, they press on with another compliment. Sounds awful. Fans often identifies the evolution of Baker's TV performance in the 7 years he was playing the part, with early confidence giving way to more experimental and madcap middle period, culminating in a more somber take in his final year on the show. Well, look, he was in the middle of breaking up with Lala Ward, right? And boy, did they not like each other by the time they got to, oh man, the tension in, what's it called again, State of Decay is palpable. Oh, yeah. So no wonder he left. But John Nathan Turner wanted him to leave anyway. He wanted to radically change, which Piers Wenger's talking about right now, the head of BBC Drama. But if that was in my video yesterday. But if these shifts were happening, he claims he was not aware of them. No, again, this was just him being him, okay? Early confidence, him coming in, doing the right thing by accident, essentially. Great intersection with Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes. Madcap Middle, being let off the leash. He was more important than the producer, than Graham Williams, and he got too much power, and his ideas were a bit madcap, a bit bonkers. And somber, John Nathan Turner arrived and yanked the chain, put him, slow things down, changed the tone of the show, and he was he was going through a seems to be quite a nasty divorce. I don't know any divorce that isn't nasty, quite frankly. So yeah, it's all just him, and that's actually probably why Jodie Whittaker's Doctor was such an incredible failure. She's just her. She's a Karen. She's a mum. Yeah, when she's like facing down villains, Lenny Henry, she's useless. She's like a Karen arguing at a parent-teacher conference. She's just has no authority whatsoever. Do you mean there's a difference in the way I played it? No, I only have one performance really, and that's the Doctor Who one. So no, I didn't change it at all. Consequently, though I changed, I got older, I couldn't run as fast. Although I think his performance right now is very, very similar to the time he was on TV. Fits in just kind of seamlessly for me a lot of the time. Baker was one constant in his era. The other constant was the familiar police box with costumes, companions, styles, and producers all coming and going. When Hinchcliffe departed Doctor Who in 1977 and went to work on the gritty police series Taggart, he was replaced by Graham Williams. And yeah, what I really wish would happen is a controller BBC went to Target, not Taggart, went to Hinchcliffe and say, look, you had such a great success with Robert Holmes. We want you to do like an adult TV show, 6 episodes, Thursday nights, hour long each, like Nightmare Man. I think that would have been an incredible tradition of great TV that we never got. I want to go to that parallel dimension. He tried to get his Markham thing, and that's the way it worked, Baker says of Williams. So he tried to influence me, perhaps to turn in his version of Doctor Who. It didn't seem to occur to him that I had that he had the job as producer, I had the job of being Doctor Who. So he had to compromise along the way. Yeah, basically he was all powerful, and it showed it, right? It eventually dawned on him when other actors, one or two of the directors I was working with, said, "Hey, I think Tom's got something here. I think we're onto something." Then he had to put up with it. Oh, okay. After that, we became quite friendly. Never very friendly, but I'm not all that good at being very friendly. But we coexisted, and and on it went. I got more and more confident as they accepted me more and more for my preposterous ideas, and the audience responded. Yeah, I think Douglas Adams was your best script editor. Man, this is a long piece. Whoa, we've got a long way to go. Okay, Baker's relationship with his third and final producer, John Nathan Turner, was by his own admission less amicable. He came and he had an idea of doing Doctor Who, how it should be done. It was obviously he saw Doctor Who very much as he saw himself, and I didn't agree with this. Yeah, look. Colin Baker's costume is essentially a fictionalized John Nathan Turner. He was very nice, otherwise, and very generous. I think he wanted to put his stamp on it, but I didn't like his style. Look, it's the difference in the 70s and the 80s. He didn't like my style, so it was a great struggle at the time, which we didn't have to take to arbitration because that would have been counterproductive, but it made life difficult. It made me constantly the need, and it made constantly the need for compromise on both our sides. Yeah, and I don't think it was up for the compromise, right? Having become the longest service Doctor Day, an accolade which he holds to this day, Baker departed the series in 1980, going on to play Sherlock Holmes in 1982. So yeah, it was literally 29 years between playing Doctor and the adaptation of Hound of the Baskervilles. Wait a minute, the first thing I saw him in after Doctor Who was Lives and Loves of a She-Devil, when he had his hair cut and his bum was out, having sex with Patricia Hodge, was it? I can't remember. It was a bit disturbing. The idea was That was a real, like, needle on the record moment. And appearing Blackout to do Chronicles 9 and rebooted Randall Hot Cook Deceased. That was great. And there was, he insists, a little bit of Doctor in every role he plays. Yeah, that's why they're that's why you're paying you. That's why you get hired. I couldn't leave it behind. It was very much leaving myself behind. I'm stuck with the way I am. We're all stuck with the way we are. And thus Jodie Whittaker is useless as Doctor Who, right? That's the reason. And we have to make the best of it and exploit what people like about us. As an actor, some people have rather like the way I do things, or the way I do anything, because there really isn't much difference between the things I've done. It's fair enough. But again, the problem was they go, oh, Jodie Whittaker, she has a vagina. She has a vagina, and I know who she is. She has a vagina, I know who she is. And what's the name? The Crown. What's her name again? It's Peep Show. Whatever her name is. Turn it down, right? Turn it down. Jodie Whittaker, no, you need somebody with a bit of nonce, right? A little bit of going on up there to be able to play the Doctor. Clearly, Whittaker is not up for it. I always thought, what's her name? Rebecca Wilson. No, is it Rachel Wilson? Rachel Wilson? Rebecca Wilson? No, is it? No, I'm getting the name completely. You know what? Fine, I'm looking it up. She was in. Okay, let's go. His Dark Materials, right? His Dark Materials. She was also in the Lone Ranger movie, which I quite like, quite frankly. Oh, it's just annoying me. There we go. Opening up with Ruth Wilson. Okay, I went for every Wilson you probably can think of. No, Ruth Wilson. I thought she could have really pulled it off. Where'd it go? No. All of which means I wasn't anxious about returning to the role through the collaboration with Big Finish. I never left being Doctor. You kind of did, mate. You kind of stayed away from it for a long time. I played Macbeth the way I played Doctor Who, so naturally it was not a success. But although it wasn't a success, they all just laughed a lot, and that was a kind of a consolation. I would love to see that. Oh my God, is that on YouTube? I can't really play a villain anymore. Then I could play a super sleuth like Sherlock Holmes. I think it'd be cool having Tom Baker as a super sleuth. I played Sherlock Holmes on stage, as well as people found me utterly ridiculous. I like the Hound of the Baskervilles. You were good in it. Shut up. I couldn't quite get his vanity or what imposed was my anxiety and my notion on how to tell a story. You see, look, you're seeing he's a smart guy right now. And of course, people did find it very, very funny. Listen, pain of your life, mate. He's been playing Doctor Who Big Finish for a decade now, surpassing his TV run, and doesn't plan on stopping. Tom Baker, it seems, is a Doctor for life. Again, the opposite of Whittaker. I don't think we're ever seeing her again. I mean, it's got to be a long time before, because it's got to hurt finding out how awful you are, right? What kept me coming back is the best part and all the best lines. Makes sense. He says before letting loose one of his trademark booming laughs. Tom Baker. And the boys at Big Finish like my works, and visiting the actors seem to like it. So lots of supporting actors who come in. They watch me before they reach the age of reason, because it goes back a long way, doesn't it? That's true. For lots of them, it's a little sneaky ambition to come and play a part in Doctor Who, and what they tell me, that's what they tell me anyway. They're actors, so I can't believe a word they're saying. But it's charming, much as you are, Tom Baker. You are charming. Yeah, listen, I think this is still true today. I think it's getting less now. That, like, people would be like, oh yeah, Doctor Who? I'd love to be in Doctor Bloody Who. Now, I mean, they got people for season 11 and 12. I'm intrigued. They're not talking about all the guest stars in season 13. They normally do that a lot, right? They normally, the first trailer at the end of season 11 was really boring with all the guest stars they were having. I just don't see them getting. Maybe. I guess we'll find out. But anyway, why was Tom Baker great at being Doctor Who, and why is Jodie Whittaker awful at being Doctor Who? Jodie Whittaker has one thing that Tom Baker has, and Tom Baker has one thing that Jodie Whittaker doesn't have. Jodie Whittaker's thing that she doesn't have is she's not Tom Baker. She is in fact Jodie Whittaker, and Tom Baker. The ingredient Tom Baker had that made his portrayal of Doctor Who so good was, of course, Tom Baker. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.